right, I hope everybody's doing good out there. It's Dave from Flash Nate's DJ service. So, last week's gig vlog. One of the best things on Saturday and Sunday I've done in a long time. And here it is the week later, and I actually have some details to tell you about today, as a matter of fact, from last week. So, Saturday, okay, Thursday night, I get a text from Danny, the lead singer of the Redneck Castaways, introducing me to Liam. Now, mind you, when I get introduced, I'm thinking he's just a tech guy. He's just helping out. When I actually meet him, he's a 20-something-year-old, somewhat of an audio genius, perfectly fine, well, awesome. And I said to myself, as much as I was upset, and the reason why I put that in air quotes is because I don't know if I've ever talked about this, or maybe I should in one of my Tech Tip Wednesdays. Maybe this week I will. My mind is ADHD brain. So when that happens and you find certain things out, wheels start to spin, you can spiral, all crazy things can happen. Anyway, at first, I will openly admit, and I've said this to a ton of people, once Liam said he was bringing his Wing Compact, it's like, in my head now I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, I normally mix these guys. That kind of a thing is what happens first. So now, Thursday night going through things, you know, my brain spirals a little bit. Then what happens Friday, stuff I'm not going to talk about right now. I fix the things that were out of my control. And then on Saturday morning, before I leave with my wife to go to the Jetty for the Redneck show, I had already talked to the owner during the week, and I was going to go in, fix some things, and I did, you know, just to get some things. So like today, I guarantee the guy is playing inside. Perfectly fine. Well, what it is that the owner wants to be able to take anything that's going on outside and pipe it inside. Perfectly fine, easy enough. So do that, and then turn around and Liam, you know, so I can reconfigure Liam's scene for the Wing. He's gonna mix the band. We talk about a few things Saturday morning. He's gonna mix the band. I'm just gonna do system work. Perfectly fine. I'm actually more content that way. Me and my wife go early, get everything all set for the owner, fix all that stuff. Then, you know, and the guy played inside because the weather wasn't so great last week either. Just one of those coincidental things. So get through everything. Takes me about 15-20 minutes. I actually have a minor hiccup on myself that I don't know if it's something that was inherent inside Liam's scene or something I forgot to change. I don't really know. Anyway, get the entire system perfect. Everything's running smooth. Liam does his work. During sound check, I tweak the system a little bit, do a couple minor things that needed to be done. And once that's done and everything comes to life, show goes smooth. Everything's great. Sleeping a little bit Sunday, then come get the trailer, take stuff out of the truck, put it in the trailer, take off, go to the campground, and that day is when I find out this puppy, my R8 from Rock and Roller, collapsing and pulling apart, I think has kind of came to its end. I don't know yet. I gotta check somewhere. I've had this thing maybe 6 years, so it's lived its life. I got the new one I got is a much beefier one, much heavier one. It's the R12, I believe, which is the 4x4 model. It's got the big giant wheels on the front. It's got big wheels on the back. should go right over grass and stuff like that, because I do a lot of outdoor stuff. So I just figure, might as well, if I'm gonna drop the extra money, I might as well drop on something good. So anyway, I go do the campground, bring 2 things in my movers. Oh, was awesome. Probably one of the best, just generic Memorial Day end the weekend on Sunday. Do that from 4 to 7 to 4 to 8. At the end of it, everybody who was there raved about it. The secretary who came over from the office, she loved it, and all that kind of good stuff. So now, we had already talked about it. If it was a good response to me being there, that Caitlin, my contact there, who's an old friend, said she would talk to her boss about possibly doing a swap out, meaning campsite for me DJing for a couple days. Well, guess what's sitting on this side? I'll have to show you that particular weekend. My entire camping rig is right here. I don't need all of it. That's what's cool. It all depends what happens in August when I go do this. So it's going to be the 14th and 15th. It's going to be the weekend 14th through the 16th. Well, the only thing about that, and I'm okay with this, it's not a big deal, is that I'll go and do that. But I already told her, I said, by the way, I can do the 14th and the 15th, give you 2 nights of DJing for the campsite. She said, that's perfect, that's awesome, he would love that. I said, all right. However, on the 16th, I have a concert, which is for my buddies in the band, Stepping Out featuring New Image. They are performing at the Warren Summer Concert Series. They kicked me some money for, it's not that I want to go in for short money, but these guys are doing, each year that they do this, they've got anywhere from 200 to 500 people at this event. And rather than the keyboard player Mike doing front of house duties and all that, I sit out at front of house and I mix, and Mike turns around and he just does monitors for the band. And if he's struggling with stuff, I help him with that stuff. So it's a fun gig. So that's the only downside to that weekend. But the cool thing is, I already talked to my wife earlier today. I said, hey, make sure you put the dates on the calendar. And she's like, why? I go, because I've got an offer to go do the same campground again, swap out campsite for DJing. And she's like, oh, okay. I told her, only if your knee feels good. And I said, what we can do too, I said, if you're not sure if you want to stay or not, I said, why don't you take your car? Because she's, depending upon if it's our on week or off week. So say it's her weekend off. She can still work in the morning, but I can take off first thing in the morning, even though the campground's only a half hour away. I can go up there, first thing in the morning, get the campsite started, all set, that kind of thing, and I can put the trailer where it needs to be, whether it's going to be at the pavilion where they have a stage, or is it going to be up at the hall. So that'll be the campground's decision on that. That'll be Caitlin's call. So I do that, and everything was awesome. One of the best. I gotta start some of these events. I forget I have the GoPro and I forget to set it up. Like the one that I do when I go do the Warren Summer concert series on the August 16th. That one I definitely I can power up the camera from behind in the middle of the shell of the stage, and I can have it shoot straight out so you guys will be able to see what's going on from stage perspective out. So anyway, so with that being said, it was an awesome weekend. It was really, really good. Wednesday's tech tip, I think that I'm gonna just do what I call a rambling video. I know this is rambling a little bit, but I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a rambling video and just talk off the brain of like doing things like that, like exchanging campsites for work and things like that. So with that being said, I'm gonna insert pictures. Actually, no, wait, I apologize. I don't have any pictures from either one of those. So, but anyway, if anybody's interested in anything, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that goodness. Share videos if you find any of these interesting. You know, just to give you an idea, to give you about this week is a threefold weekend. I just got back from doing a fundraiser for my friend Pete, DJ Pete Productions. He actually had a big wedding this afternoon he had to go do, so he asked me to go to Westport for him at Buzzards Bay Brewery, and they had a cornhole tournament for children. It's CAC, I believe, is the initials of it. It was a giant cornhole tournament. Because of the rain was going to come in, they decided to move it inside, and we even are going to probably have 40-50 mile an hour gusts. And then tonight, which I got to go leave in a couple minutes, I got to go home, grab my karaoke laptop, and head to the Lakeville Country Club. Got to do karaoke there. That goes from 6 to 10. And then with Chinese food, by the way, Chinese food. Anybody who is in this area in southeastern Mass who wants to go, you know, I'll even post a link to, I'm going to start putting an event up. I already do anyway, but I'll start tagging them in these if I talk about them. And then tomorrow I actually have the South Shore Femme Fest, which is in Marshfield at Steel Wagon, I believe it's called, brewery. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here and for our Flash and Dance. So that being said, I'm gonna say once again, like, subscribe, and share these videos. Also, don't forget to learn one thing every day, and don't forget, treat others the way you want to be treated. So with that said, I will see you on Wednesday for Tech Tip Wednesday.